Good evening, everyone, and a very warm welcome
Good.
to the Meaningful Monday for.
No.
Sorry, I'm just going to mute the mic. Okay, let me try that again. Good evening, and very warm welcome to Meaningful Monday. This is the last Meaningful Monday of the year. I'm just going to mute all microphones. You are welcome to unmute anytime. If you have a question, please just unmute, speak to me. You can also type something in the chat box. You can also raise your hand. If I don't see your hand going up, I may miss it. Then just jump in the chat box or unmute your mic to speak to me. But anyone's welcome to speak to me at any time. So we've got quite a lot of new people here tonight, which is fantastic. I always love that. So very warm welcome to you. To the ones who've been here before, welcome back. And to the ones who've always coming along, very, very warm welcome to you. Special warm welcome for always coming back. So for the new people, Meaningful Monday is just a free webinar on the first Monday of every month. And the purpose is just to really raise awareness, just help you become more self-aware to create your own best life. Because the more self-aware we become and the more we live in harmony with the law of attraction, because that's exactly how we get our whole life experience is the law of attraction. Either we're aware of it and we're doing great things to live in harmony with these universal laws and go better and better, or we unaware of it and we just think life just happens and we are victims and good things happen and bad things happen, just a matter of luck. Well, it's definitely not a matter of luck. It's 100% life is what we create, and this is what the purpose is of Meaningful Monday. So what I thought I'd do for tonight, seeing as it's December and to wrap up the year, one of the most important things you can do for your own personal growth is to get into the habit of planning and reflecting. So if you're making notes, please write that down. Plan and reflect daily is the most powerful personal development tool on the planet. And it's more powerful than doing any course or, any certification or anything, because it's ongoing. It's day in and day out evaluating your life. So I learned that from John Maxwell. For those who don't know me, I'm a John Maxwell certified coach and speaker and trainer. John Maxwell is the #1 leadership author and speaker in the world. So I'm part of his global team. I'm also the Silver Method trainer of Australia. And then I sell investment property as one other thing. And I just run book masterminds from time to time. And anything else I can do to, add value and help raise people's awareness. So John Maxwell is the one who really taught me about planning and reflecting daily. And I have to be honest, it took me years to get into the habit of doing it consistently. However, when I do, I cannot tell you, my productivity and effectiveness just goes off the charts, and I develop more and more capacity. And if you think of your own lives and people around you, you'll always hear people saying, "Oh, I'm so busy, I'm so busy." Yep, so we can be very busy, but sometimes we can get so busy, but we're not really accomplishing a lot. It's different when you are busy, but there's a lot of accomplishing going on. That's highly rewarding. In my own life, I'm admitting I'm busy, but when I'm accomplishing things or there's real activities which are in alignment or in harmony with my purpose and with what I really value to do and what I really love to do and in my strength zone, I don't even call it work. I love what I'm doing. But there's a completely different negative experience if we find ourselves very busy, but we don't feel like we're accomplishing much, or we're out of harmony with what we really value. So planning and reflecting is key. So tonight I'm going to talk about the law of reflection. The law of reflection actually comes as one of the laws in John Maxwell's one best-selling book, which is the 15 Laws of Growth. And the bottom line for reflection is experience is not your greatest teacher. Evaluated experience is. So reflection has got enormous power in it. And that's why I said up front, it can be the most powerful personal development method on the planet. So that's planning and reflecting daily. I'm going to tell you how to do this for the year. And we do need to do it for the year before the year closes. We're in December now. And before you know it, it's Christmas. And then it's that busy time between Christmas and New Year, probably doing a lot of I don't know, social things, or I don't know what you'll personally be getting up to, but I know it's generally a busy time for many. And then the next thing you know, the new year started and we're just trying to get a bit of rest in. And the next thing we're back into 2023 and the year takes off and we're busy again. So before we just leap into busy again, this that I'm going to share with you tonight is a process that John Maxwell uses himself. He taught it to me. I use it. I'm telling you, every time I've ever done this, it's delivered such enormous value. I call it the gold nuggets. So if we don't do reflection for the year, we leave all those gold nuggets just lying in the ground around us. It's such a waste if we don't mine that gold. Because if you can take that gold of the 2022 year and take it with you into 2023 by using the reflection to help you plan for the next year, you will be setting yourself up for a fantastic year next year. And you will also feel more motivated, energized, and inspired to get into the new year, no matter how busy your festive season is and whatever you get up to. Okay, just by the way, just let me go back one. There are Meaningful Mondays are all recorded and on my YouTube channel, either my name or Silver Method Australia. So please feel free. There's a great library there. I just see the internet connection was a bit unstable. So there's a great library there of over 200 videos. All right, so let's get into this. So reflection turns experience into insight. You know, you can live your whole life and you can have experience after experience after experience. And you may know people like this. They get to their old age. They haven't really learned much or changed much over time. They kind of got stuck in their lives. Some of them might be a bit unhappy for whatever reason. Some people might be a bit bitter. And we don't want that. We definitely don't want that in our lives. And the way to really do better than that is to not just let experiences go by and collect more and more experiences in your past. It's about actually taking the experience, evaluating the experience through a certain format and getting the most value out of it. Just welcome to all the people who've just joined. A couple more have just jumped on, which is great. So let's have a look. Reflections for 2022 helps us with really improving our 2023 and preparing for it really well. I love this quote. It says, if you can't tell me what this year taught you, you may have to repeat the lesson next year. Now, it's just a quote, but think about it. All of us have got certain difficult things in our lives that tend to repeat themselves. Certain challenges in our life that tend to remain challenges. These could even be relationships. If anyone's got frustrating relationships with anyone, particularly we get them in family, that's what I've come to learn. Families are a great opportunity for personal growth. They really are. But if the lessons with challenges in relationships don't actually teach us anything, then the difficulties that we're having, the challenges that we're having, we're going to just repeat them and repeat them and repeat them. And this goes for anything else. I'm not just using relationships as an example, but there are really examples for anything to do with how did we spend our money? How did we invest our money? Did we grow our wealth at all? Did we lose any wealth at all? That's on the money side. If it comes to career, how did you go with your career? Is it in line with your values? Is it what you really want to do? Is it in line with your passions? Are you out of alignment with the place of work? Is there something else you'd like to do? Would you like to start a business? Have you? Haven't you? Where are you? So all these questions, there's so many things. And then come back to the quote. If you can't tell me what this year taught you about all those subjects, well, then we're going to have to do all the same difficult things or challenges next year. All right, so the 3 areas of your life to reflect on are relationships, responsibilities, and returns. All right, so relationships, as I said, is one of the biggest growth areas for any person. You know that. And the people that often love us the most are often the most difficult relationships that we have, or the people that we're closest to. But it may or may not be so for you, just depends. So when it comes to relationships, we can ask ourselves things like, which relationships are helping me grow? Which ones aren't helping me grow? Which ones actually bring me down? Which ones make me leave there with lower energy than when I arrived, and to be filled with maybe negative thoughts, doubts, indecisions, things like that? So just think about those relationships. Which relations do you have that actually inspire you and push you into something that you might not have even believed in yourself enough to do, but that relationship made you actually say, you know what, I'm going to go for it because someone really had more belief in you than you had in yourself. So that's really one to ponder. And the way I do that is take an A4 piece of paper, do a mind map, write relationships in a little circle in the middle, and stick arms around all around it, and start with the person closest to you. Maybe it's your partner or the person living in your house or the people living in your house, and then go to the person you spend the most time with at work, and then your friends, and so on. Your main relationships, and just give them a bit of a score, or green, orange, red. And I'll come more into that in a second, but you just color code them. Green, yep, those are the ones that are helping you grow, getting you to become a better person. The more time you spend with the green people, the better your life becomes. And also happiness and joy. These are really important things to have a good life, is to have joy in our life. And if you've got people who are red, I'm not saying cut them out of your life. They may be family. You may not be able to. But if they're red people that, bring you down, or they negative, or they're not into personal growth like you are, and you find it challenging, well, when you are with them, see if you can add value to them. And otherwise, just be aware of duration and frequency. Duration and frequency. Just reduce the duration and reduce the frequency if it's really difficult. And if people are no good for you at all, I'm talking about just no good at all, then you also need to make some decisions in your life and value yourself and understand what is really going on and what's the best choice for you to make. As long as you do not make any commitments or activities based on guilt or fear. And that fear could be fear of being judged or being rejected or being disliked. Or one of the big fears, unfortunately, which is true, is the fear of what other people will think. That's not the way to make the decision. The decision needs to be what's best and right for you, without guilt and without fear. Okay, and that's just valuing yourself. So relationships are the first one. The second one is responsibilities. Well, this is composed of things that we have to do at work and have to do at home. So you can ask yourself, are you doing the right things? Like, are they giving you some benefit? Are they accomplishing things? Are you doing the right things? And then again, how you decide if the responsibilities that you are taking on are actually the right thing for you, or again, out of guilt or fear. And the question, what might happen if you choose to be responsible for the things that only you can do? So in other words, if someone else can do it, what if you didn't do that thing and delegated it? Think about that in quite a serious way. So I know this is a really silly example, but please allow me to make a silly example. If a person is earning enough income and they have some disposable income, and you spend a half or 3/4 of a day of the week cleaning your home, where you could pay someone to come and clean it, even if it's every fortnight, and get more important things done, whether you want to further your business or exercise or spend time with quality people or do a course, invest in yourself and improve your life, then why wouldn't you do that? So my mentor, Paul Martinelli, he's extreme on this point, and he says anything that he can hire, he hires. Okay, he's very wealthy today, but he said he started practicing this before he was very wealthy, and this allowed him to really grow his business and putting energy in the right places. So much so that he even at some point found a competent person with style and a good eye for color and fashion to even shop for him. He doesn't have to shop that much, but he might have said, okay, I need maybe a couple of shirts, a blazer, and a pair of trousers or two, and he'd even get that done, just saving him so much time. So in that time, he would have another business meeting and find another opportunity to maybe add value to another whole massive audience. And if you think of your life that way, or whatever it is that you're doing, what is best for you and best for others, and what responsibilities can you maybe delegate? And the last one is returns. This one reveals most how much you have grown after the past 12 months. So what kind of return have you got over the year? So you can ask yourself, what outcomes did your choices produce? And did those outcomes satisfy you? And the choices that you made, what kind of return on your investment did you get? If any of you invested in personal development, what kind of return did you get? It can also be, how did you allocate the time to practice something that you learned? If you know that something's good for you, even if it's exercise. What have you invested in exercise in your life, and what kind of return did you get? How's your health with regard to that? Or how did any choice that you made, did it move you closer towards your goals, or was it just activity? All right, someone can't, they have technical issues. Okay, no problem. So returns is really what gives you the greatest return. And once you pull it out, write it down. As you're doing this reflection, just make notes of things that really gave you the greatest return and see if you can increase that in the following year. And that's what comes into the planning stage going into the following year. And things that didn't give you any return, well, how will you work differently next year if you can take those things out or reduce them? So the return you get for the choices that you make can either keep you really hungry and excited and motivated to move forward in your life and go after bigger goals, or it can kind of drain your energy and keep you stagnant. So we need to also feel into the experiences we had in the year. When I say feel into them, when you think about them, does your energy go up? You think, I'd love to do that again. That's so freaking exciting. Or is it like, oh, that I have to do that again, and bring your energy down? Very important. It tells a lot about a person or about the thing that you're doing, if it's the right thing for you or not. All right, so we're going to have a 3-step process in how we're going to do this. So the first step is, you can write this down if you like. What are the lessons learned from the year? What are the things I'm grateful for from the year? And then something that's what I call a calendar review. Now, I'll just tell you this, and it might sound extreme, but just think of the level of success and the level of importance that John Maxwell places on reflection. So John Maxwell is published over 100 books. He's known as one of the top 3 speakers in the world. He's really an amazing mentor, speaker, and he's changed my life totally through some of the books that he's written, even before I joined the John Maxwell team. So I can't speak more highly of him. And he's a highly, highly creative and productive person. For a person to have written over 100 books, and he's done that in 35 years, because he started writing at 40 and he's now 75, he's published over 100 books. That is really remarkable achievement. And he talks throughout the year, he's booked out for talks. So for a man as busy as that, he says he takes 2 weeks out of his calendar at the end of the year to do his reflection process. And he goes through every single appointment in his calendar with his personal executive assistant, and he decides if he's going to do that again in the following year or not, what reward, what return did he get on it. So that's like a massive in-depth one. I'm not saying you have to do that, but I would definitely take, if you can, a day in your weekend and sit down early, like have breakfast and start it, and see how much time you can allocate it to it. If you get done early and you can get the rest of the day off, great. You might find it'll take you 2 days. It takes me maybe 2.5 days or almost 2 days to do a proper reflection for myself. So what you do is you go through your phone. You take your iPhone, you go onto photos. I don't know if you guys take a lot of photos, but I realized that I took 4,644 photos in 2020 alone. That's a lot of photos. But I can just scroll through my photos and I can see, okay, I didn't even remember half the things. In January, I went away. I booked myself in a certain place. It was a wonderful experience. I'm going to write that down. Keep going, keep going. Okay, I did this particular course on Forex trading. How did that go? Write that down. Keep going, keep going. Okay, I went away here. Okay, I did this event there. Just write down the big chunks that come from your photos, those big moments. Write them down on the left-hand side of a page. On the other side of the page, you ask these two questions. What are the lessons learned? Think really into it. What is the lesson learned? Even if it's about a place you went away. If it was wonderful, well, the lesson learned is that it was so rejuvenating. It was so much fun. I felt so great, even if it was just 3 days away. Well, why not do that again or something similar? Plan it into next year's calendar, tick. That's how we do reflection and planning. Things I'm grateful for, those are so important. They can even be terrible failures. They can be heartaches. They can be good things and bad things. If we find what we're grateful for in negative experiences and adversities, we transform them into positive, valuable teachers. And if you live your life doing that on a regular basis, your life will significantly improve. So things I'm grateful for, I put down the good things and definitely put down the bad things as well. And then calendar review, that one takes the longest. Now, I'm not suggesting, it's up to you how you want to do it, but John Maxwell looks at every single appointment, seriously, in the entire year. That's why it takes him so long. But I do scroll through my calendar. I come to evaluate things that work for me and things that really waste time. So I love this quote. I just love it. I actually printed this out and stuck it on my desk when I was in corporate, and I influenced many people to read it and do the same. And the quote is, activity is not necessarily accomplishment. And you know those days when you say, I'm so busy, how are you doing? Oh, I'm so busy. And the next day, oh no, I'm so busy, I'm a really busy week. Activity is not necessarily accomplishment. So when you look at activity, try to work it for yourself. Really, what is just a waste of your time? And I can tell you, I don't know how many of you work for yourself, but if you do, processes and systems, even in your personal life, even at home, in your filing system, how you file your papers for your tax year, systems and processes is definitely a way to look at activity and accomplishment. Here is a bill sitting here right here next to me. Once I've paid this bill, I've got a certain file behind me. As I slot it in, that's all I need to do. And everything can come, I slot it in. At the end of the tax year, I do not go through collecting stuff. I take that file and send it off to my tax accountant. Most of it's in there. Whatever's missing is what's come on electronic. And electronically, I filed it too, and I can zip the entire folder and send it through. So systems and processes is another way for you to consider and think about when you're doing your 3-step process or your calendar review, anything that really wastes your time. And in the calendar review thing, here again, it's about, in your mind, thinking about what is green, what is orange, and what is red. Green things, as I said, add value to you. They could be people, they could be places, they could be events. Yellow is, or orange is neither here nor there. You need to decide what that's going to do for you. But red, do not repeat reds. If you go and repeat reds in 2023, then it goes back to the first quote that I showed you earlier on, which said, if we don't learn the lessons, we repeat them in the following year. So things that really just don't work, don't repeat them. I've got one for myself. It's really a silly thing, but I'm going to just mention it. If I ever travel to do a course, and I've done quite a bit of this in my life, even international traveling with the John Maxwell team, I went over to America 8 times in a period of 6 or 7 years. I've come to learn that at the last day of the course, I do not travel home. If I do, I regret it every time. So if I don't learn that and actually make a mental note and a point and actually write it down as a learning, I'm going to beat myself up and be disappointed the next time it happens. So now it's just like a rule of thumb. This is how Janine travels. If she has to travel to do a course, go home the following day or even the day after that, take a day out just to sit and relax and actually integrate and reflect on what the course was about and let it really become part of you so that you take the change that you've been given with you on your journey. Will we get to see this recording? Yes, everything is recorded, Neil, definitely. Is anyone else having sound problems? Is anyone else having sound problems? Just put your thumbs up if you've got sound problems. Paul, is that a yes? Or does it sound good? Occasionally.
No, you were breaking up. There was a lot of
Yeah, you're breaking up.
All right, just let me see what I can do here. Just give me 1 second. I might just, if you don't mind, let me just move to another room and tell me if this is any better. Oops. Just put the light on. I'll just come sit right next to the Wi-Fi router. Okay. All right. Is that any better? You just let me know if the sound is improved.
Yeah, it's better.
There is a bit of wind outside. Sometimes it's that. All right, but I'll sit here. It might just be better.
It's better.
Oh, thank you. All right. Thanks for letting me know. That's quite important. Okay, great. I've got quite a few yeses there. All right. So that's the calendar review. So definitely anything, as I said, green, yellow, and orange, just mark it up for yourself. Okay. Oops, I cannot. All right. Self-reflection entails asking yourself questions about your values, assessing your strengths and failures, thinking about your perceptions and interactions with others, and imagining where you want to take your life in the future. You know, just a reminder of something. I used to work for Nielsen. They used to be called AC Nielsen. They're a market research company, and I worked for them for more than 5 years. And the income this global multinational company used to make was from selling data. What is data? Data is history, and companies pay hundreds of thousands of dollars for this history data to evaluate it, reflect on it, so that they can plan their futures. And all companies around the world are doing the same thing. They're all investing in data, or any kind of data, consumer data, whatever it is, to plan how they want to go forward. Even a budget process does the same kind of thing. Why wouldn't we do this in a proper and deep way for our own lives to ensure that our futures get better and better? Reflection is extremely powerful. So this quote is really, really important. Assessing your strengths. How important is assessing your strengths? What are you good at? And what do you love to do? And can you make a point of doing more of that? And what were your failures? And did you learn from them? That's the only thing you need to do when it comes to failures or mistakes is one and one thing only. What did it teach you? What could you learn? If you could learn anything from a failure, and there is a lot to learn in every failure. There's no way a failure's got no learning. Everyone does. But we have to intentionally go and look for it. But you know what? Once we do, if we get that learning and we acknowledge it, maybe journal it, write it down, we improve and improve and improve our life over time. Okay, so 5 steps to review your year successfully. Let's go. The first one is write down your 4 priorities. Why 4? Well, I don't know. It could be 3, it could be 5. I've just got 4. It's a number that's kind of in between. So I'll just give you 2 examples so you can get what I'm talking about. John Maxwell's are these. Remember, he's an author and a speaker. So his first one is communicate. That's one of his priorities. To get speaking events where he talks to tens or hundreds of thousands of people. That's really adding value in a massive way, and it's living his life purpose, okay? So communicate is one for him. Create is the other one for him. He creates content. He publishes books. His third one is lead. John Maxwell's got 3 companies, and he obviously is a leader. And faith, that's one for him. So when I did this same thing maybe a year or 2 ago, I think it was 2 years ago, and I'm looking at my own notes, I had property because I help people invest in property. That was one of my priorities. The other one was training. The other one was coaching. And the other one was my faith and spiritual growth. Well, this year, I've got another one. So I've got property still is there. I've combined training and coaching as one. That's just what I've done. And my faith and spirituality is there. And I've added relationships. So for me now going forward, relationships is a priority, whether that's all relationships in my life, all of them, whether it's my personal relationship, my significant other half, my work relationships, my family relationships, and then everyone else that I know, whether they are friends or clients or, even people like yourselves. Every one of the relationships I have, if I get to speak to you, I really want to value the relationship. I want to add value to it. And I hope that the relationship continues. I hope it's a long-term one. I would like everyone who's ever come to do a course with me or a mastermind to stay in touch and develop a long-term relationship. Yes, we might not be seeing each other every weekend and be best mates, but I do want to have a relationship that is meaningful and is long-lasting. I think for me, that would give my life the most value. And if I live to be 120 and lay on my deathbed, the richness of my life would come from the relationships and the difference that I've been able to make in people's lives and them in mine. That's really where value lies. So whatever your 4 priorities are, write down 4. If you want 5, write down 5. But once you've written those down, then reflect on your findings of those priorities. Just reflect on those findings. What did you learn through the year? Think about each one. If it's for myself, I could take, we all know relationships is a massive teacher. You can take people and go and evaluate it there. If I look at my property, for example, I can say, well, my findings are what really worked well. Okay, I've done property webinars. Did they work well? Yes, no, maybe. Make a note of them. Do I do more of them, less than them, or the same? So that's exactly an example. You can work it out. Number 3, make crucial discoveries. Yes, we do want to make crucial discoveries. We want to really understand what's really important. Again, activity is not necessarily accomplishment. Growth is not automatic. So growth must be intentional. If the areas in our life where we're not doing really well or have a hard time or we're struggling, then getting to growing in that area. That's the only way to come out of it, is to grow in that area. And growth is outside the comfort zone. Growth doesn't mean to say that you in a course always or learning or reading in a book. Even if a person's not that healthy and fit and you decide to start getting healthy and fit, that's growth too. It's uncomfortable. It could be painful. It could be difficult to get into. So anything that's really stretching us, public speaking, whatever it may be. Also, reflection turns experience into insight. So when we reflect, what are the crucial discoveries? Jot them down, make a note of it. Then plan. So now we look at everything that we've collected. Now I've shared a lot with you already. So as you look through all these notes that you've made, your calendar, your phone, your photos, your priorities, your relationships, the thing that you're responsible for, what you got the best return on, just make a whole lot of notes on those things, read it all over, and then start to say, what am I going to do next year to make it even better than this year? Even better. And if I've grown so much this year, well, fantastic. Congratulations. How can I continue to grow next year? The worst thing a person can ever do is say, I grew so much in 2022, I'm going to chill in 2023. Can anyone tell me why that's not a good idea? Because this is really not a good. Anyone share? Why would it be? Well, I've grown so much in 2022. I just want to chill in 23.
Because life doesn't stand still.
Thank you, Melanie. 100%. Life is moving so bloody fast. Excuse me for using that word. It's just unbelievable, the pace and the change that's occurring in the world. If you're going to sit back, you're going to get a more difficult life. If you say, right, I'm up for it. I grew this year and I did it. Praise yourself. Acknowledge your accomplishments. There's a big storm out there. If you're not growing, you are dying. Sharon Mary. Yes, if you're not growing, you are. You're actually declining. You're degrading. Is the noise of the rain too loud? It's okay? All right. So yes, we definitely got to keep growing. And if your growth was hard, and sometimes it is hard, then just reflect on that too and praise yourself. Build yourself up. Write down all the things you acknowledge about what you did and how you overcame difficult times. What did you learn from overcoming difficult times? Did you realize that you're stronger than you thought you were? Did you realize that maybe what you thought was so scary, you could actually do at the end of the day? So did fear make it worse than it really was? Is it sometimes our thoughts? These are very good insights to consider. And then, yes, definitely, in next year, find opportunities to grow even more, because the more we grow, there's this beautiful saying. It says, if you do what is hard, life will be easy. But if you do what is easy, life will be hard. So doing what is hard is continual study, personal development, being healthy, being fit, spiritual growth, time for meditation, time for daily planning and reflecting, journaling, gratitude, investing in relationships, all these good things. They do take intention and they can at times be hard, but our lives do get easier. And when we just sit on the couch, we think life is easier just to chill out and relax, we might become unhealthy, the body starts giving you pain, relationships don't work as well, whatever it may be. So Number 5, schedule things. Go in with a plan for a bigger and better and more successful year. So I do that in my business, and I do it in my personal life as well. So I had a look at the calendar and thought, if there are any significant trips I need to make, maybe to see family overseas or whatever it may be, well, when am I going to do that? So I put those in, as well as all the Silver Method classes I'm going to do. And next year I'm traveling to other cities for Silver Method. So those are extra events. So there's quite a bit of busyness going on and less time for flexibility. Then I've got to be even more into planning. So for yourself, if there's something that you really want to do, whatever that thing is that you really want to do, bucket list items, take the time to reflect on your bucket list items and say, well, how about doing 1 or 2 of those, or maybe more, but at least 1 or 2 of those bucket list items next year. Life goes by like this. You don't want to be old with regrets. Make it happen. Plan it. Put it in. If there's a significant thing you've been wanting to do for years, why not plan it for next year? Okay, the 3 methods which we may learn wisdom. First, reflection, which is the noblest. The second, by imitation, which is the easiest. And the third, by experience, which is the bitterest. So a bit of each of those for us here, but certainly reflection is really one for wisdom. Okay, what happens when we become serial reflectors? Well, if we reflect too much, what ends up happening is we start to compare ourselves to other people, and that's what we don't want to do. Because once we compare ourselves to other people, you're either going to think, oh, well, number 1, I'm so much better than Bill and Bob, so we get proud and complacent because their lives are a mess and mine ain't. Or we compare ourselves to people who are ahead of us, and then we are number 2. We become indecisive. Oh, look what they've done. Look how much they've achieved. I wonder if I can do that. I don't know if I can do that as well. Maybe I should prepare more. Maybe I should plan more. Maybe I need to do another course or get another qualification before I start the business. No, don't compare yourself to anyone else. If you want to compare yourself to something, compare yourself to yourself 6 months ago. Are you better now than you were 6 months ago? And if you were, excellent. And if you weren't, again, don't beat yourself up. Just reflect and find out, well, what can you learn from that? And what can you do better? And how can you make a positive change? So that's that. I like this quote. If you find yourself criticizing other people, you're probably doing it out of resistance. When we see others beginning to live their authentic selves, it drives us crazy because we have not lived out our own. So this is just really a quote. Can you hear me still with this rain? Oh, great. Maybe the microphone's doing the right thing here. For me, it's so loud. I can hardly hear myself. This is really about being aware of when we are triggered. Whenever we are triggered, we've got some unhealed wound within us. And this statement about when we see others living their authentic selves, it can drive us crazy. Well, if we're ever triggered by other people's behavior in some way, just know that there's something inside us there that we need to learn. I think it was Claire, I think it was you that said it in last Meaningful Monday, when I was talking about if you saw someone losing their temper in the bank, why do so many people get triggered? Because we wouldn't do that. And we see someone else having the freedom to throw their temper and say whatever they want without censoring themselves, and it annoys us. Well, it doesn't annoy us because they are losing their temper. It annoys us because we don't like the fact that they can do it and we can't, because somewhere deep inside, all of us wish that we could just say what we want sometimes and do what we want sometimes, but we hold ourselves back for whatever reason. So they're a bit obscure. It may be that, it may not be that. I'm just saying, just be aware. When we're criticizing others or when we're triggered by others, there's something in ourselves that we've not healed. And then as you reflect on the year, simple question. What did you like and what didn't you like? Okay, the things that you like. Very simple and very profound. If you don't like something, change it. Do not complain. Do not, if there's anything you complained about in 2022, please do not take that into the next year with you and complain about it. Just do not complain, because complaining is creative and it creates negative outcomes in your life. It's not the way to live. It's not great for people around you to, you know what it's like. You don't like being in the company of people who complain. So if you don't like something, then do something about it to change it. Whatever that may be. Push yourself, find yourself and change it. If it's absolutely something you cannot change, then we must change our attitude about it. But we're not here to change other people. I know this is not the nicest thing to hear, but that's not why we're here. We're not here to change other people or fix other people. If we can't change other people, the last thing left to change is what? It's ourselves, and it's our attitude. So if we really are riled up in some way about something, it can be a huge teacher in our life. Definitely an opportunity for us to grow. And then just talking about if you serial reflectors and we compare ourselves and compare ourselves and compare ourselves, the comparison gap is always someone else is better than I am. And when we do that, we can often come to faulty conclusions. We can become people who end up taking less and less action. We start seeing things that are small challenges as Mount Everests, and then we become immobilized. We don't achieve much. We take less and less action. There's just so much wrong with the comparison syndrome. So don't let that be you. Okay, our job in this life is not to shape ourselves into some ideal we imagine we ought to be, but actually to find out who we already are and become it. And that's also, when we compare ourselves too much, we think there's things we need to do or be because we're looking at someone else over there. That's not really it. Look at yourself in the mirror and acknowledge the good parts of you. We all have talents and gifts. How can you use your talents and gifts more? Don't worry about what other people are doing or what they're getting up to. Focus on yourself and what brings you joy and where your strengths and abilities lie, and develop that. All right, so you've reflected how to move forward. So here are the 4 R's. I call them the 4 R's. Or John Maxwell actually calls them the 4 R's. I just copied him. The 4 R's are return. So this is making a commitment to plug back in. Whether that's plugging back into the gym, getting healthy, plugging back into your marriage if you need to do that. Plug back into family if you want to improve that there. Or maybe you want to really rekindle friendships properly. Plug back in there. If it's a course that you've done, if it's the silver method, some of you here are silver graduates. The ones that are here actually do plug in. But if you had a course or you did something and you've let yourself drift off down the other side there, and you really want your life to improve and that course helped you, whatever course it may be, get back there and plug back in. Luckily with Silver, we have graduates. So the graduate groups do get together. We do graduate workshops. There's a way to always get involved. You can review the course anytime, things like that. So find out your thing that helps you stay connected. Your lives just really, really improve. Those of you here who are Silver graduates, I can't see all your faces, but I know that Jacinta's here, Claire's here, Paul's here, just the immediate ones I can see. You guys are plugging back in right now, being on this Meaningful Monday. So high five, well done. Everything you do is reminding you on how you can be better. And it's just this tiny bit of tweaking all the time to improve our lives. Release, take the reds from your calendar, make different decisions in the new year, and don't repeat the reds as much as possible. And then rethink, yes, from your lessons, sit and think. Thinking is so valuable. It cuts out hours and hours of action. If you think properly and reflect well, you become highly productive, highly effective, save yourself a lot of time, energy, and mistakes. It really is one of the most valuable things to do. So take the lessons you've learned and apply them for next year and keep them in a book somewhere where you can go back and look. I use the same annual reflection journal. It's the same book. I keep it in a drawer in the study and I use the same one every year. It takes me about 5 or 6 pages to do mine. And I just have the fun of going back on the previous years and looking at that line in the middle, the events on the left, the learnings on the right. And I'm still learning from the learnings on the right. When I read them again, I think, geez, that's a great learning. I forgot about that. Yes, that's so good. So keep your great nuggets of gold and, every now and then take them out and polish them. And then as to go into the new year, restart. Definitely take action. Take action, take action. If I talk about action, I just want to read something here. It says, when it's due time, it's go time. Nothing happens if you plan. So rather go like this. Do and then learn. Do more and then learn. Do some more again and then learn. People who are what they call professional planners, they never take action. And I remember being on a teaching call one night with my mentor in the John Maxwell team. And it was when I very, very first left corporate. And I was planning this first speaking event ever. And I was going on and on about how I'm planning it and haven't got the date yet because I'm still talking about preparing the speech or whatever. And the guy just said, Janine, stop. I don't want to hear any more about how much you're planning and the structure of your speech and the opening and the ending and stop. He said, have you got a pen? I said, yes, I got a pen. He said, have you got a paper there? I said, yes. He said, take your pen and paper and write this down. So I'm thinking he's going to give me some great advice here about my planning. And he says, preparation is overrated. He said, just book the date. Start by booking the date. When the day comes, you'll be ready. If you're going to sit and plan, he said, you're going to be calling me on the next mentorship call a month from now, whenever it is, and you're going to tell me that you're still planning. He said, book the date before you go to sleep tonight. Just find the calendar day and book it in. And he said, you'll find that last line there. It's go time. And you know, it was true. I did what he said. I did it earlier than I thought I would. I was as ready as I could ever be. And I had learnings. So I did it. I had learnings. Then I could just do it again and take learnings. So I'm grateful for that particular experience, and I share it with you. Don't be a professional planner. You're actually a procrastinator. Sorry, to be honest. People who are professional planners are just procrastinators. We just let life go by and we don't do much. And it's all because of one and one thing only: fear. Fear. So I love the line. It comes from As a Man Thinketh, and it says, if we can conquer fear, we can conquer failure. Push through your fear. Force yourself to take the action despite the fear. My mantra is, do it afraid. Just do it, but do it afraid, because once you've done it, you won't be that afraid the next time. I was on the radio this morning, and Claire used to be my co-host for several years. Thank you, Claire. And Claire, you and I know there were days when we first started, we used to be a bit nervous on the panel, you know, and then we'd make a mistake and we'd like go, oh, beat ourselves up how bad it was. Well, I can tell you now, several years later, I've made every single mistake you can possibly make. Being on air, pressed the wrong button, the music didn't play, spoke when I wasn't supposed to, everything. And you know what? I'm not afraid anymore. So I have more fun. And yes, we learn from our mistakes. But the thing about fear, it's just crippling. So don't let fear hold you back. In project management, we call it iterate to great. Sharon, just explain that to us. Unmute your mic. Iterate to great.
So you might start with something small, bad, might not be well formed. You just do it, and then you iterate on top of that to make it go from whatever it is you started with to great. You know that great is going to be the outcome eventually, but you iterate your way towards great. You make little iterations to get there.
Perfect. Yeah, that's exactly right. And that's just doing. And if you've got children, anyone listening here, teach this principle to your child. You know, kids, I find they're so interesting, and I'm so curious to watch them, and they're all so different. But the one thing I really love are kids who give something a go. They just give it a go, and then doesn't matter if they get it right or not, but they give it a go. And they get up again and they give it another go, just like they did when they learned to walk. Then there's some other kids who are too afraid to give it a go in case they don't do it well or in case they fail. And that is not a good thing if they're so young and they're learning that already. So if you can help your kids go to number 4, and as you said, iterate to great, just keep doing it. I remember reading in a book about a child who's taking tennis lessons for the very first time, and you get the case where the child hits 3 or 4 balls and doesn't hit them well, and then just becomes so discouraged, wants to throw the racket on the ground and walk off the court, compared to a child who goes into the exact same experience, but the parent said to them in the car, you need to hit a ball at least 1,000 times before you're going to get it right, okay? So can you count to 1,000? And the kid's going like, geez, like 1,000. I can count to 10, 20, and 30. I know I've tried to count to 100. Okay, 1,000, and just kind of got the idea. This is a lot of goes before and said, don't expect to hit the ball properly until you've done it 1,000 times. So when the child hits it in maybe the 10th shot and did a good shot, thought, I'm amazing. I didn't go to 1,000. I did it now in 10 shots. So self-esteem went up, confidence went up. But then they did it better and better and better. So they learned faster with a more positive attitude. And that's really about letting go of the fear of failure and just saying exactly what you said there, Sharon. Thank you. Iterate to great. Give it another go. And then you'll never change your life until you change something you do daily. This is one of the most profound and simple. It's simple to understand this, but it's so profound. If you had to apply this in your life, this is the key, the golden key. The secret of your success is found in your daily agenda, in your daily routine. So, changing your life. Find an area of your life, maybe there's more than one, but let's think of just one right now, where you'd like to have some improvement. I'll talk about myself. I'd like to be more fit and I'd like to be more flexible, and that's from stretching or yoga or something like that. Well, I can live in this eternal hope that I'm going to improve by doing it when I feel like it. I don't know what you think of that, but I don't think that's going to do any good, because if we only do things when we feel like it, then we are never going to really do much. So what is discipline? People always struggle with say, I don't have much self-discipline. Well, discipline is one thing only. It's doing what you must do no matter how you feel. So if it came to myself and maybe exercise and stretching, then I need to read this quote and say, if I want my life to change and I want to be healthy and fitter, I've got to change my daily routine. So put something in the day, maybe it's first thing in the morning, every single day. And if you don't want to exercise heavily, like a full-blown session every day because your body does need rest, then on that other day you do 5 minutes then of just stretching, but something, but put it in so that it becomes a routine and part of your life. And once you've got it as part of your life, you can call that part of your life success. And you do a little bit in each area of your life, bit by bit, and your life becomes more and more successful. And then they become things that become part of a daily routine that you cannot do without. I know meditation is one of those things for me. Claire and I've spoken about this before. Sorry, Claire, I'm just mentioning you because we've spent so much time together. But meditation for Claire as well. I know you've said we can't go a day without meditating. I can't go a day without meditating. And that wasn't always the case. I never used to meditate when I was younger, but I made it part of my daily routine. I realized the benefits. My day felt more calm, more centered. I had more clarity. My intuition was better. I had more energy. I just wasn't so reactive. I was far more, just calm and centered. And if those are just a few of the benefits, and it makes my life so much better, well, it was something I was adamant I was going to make it a daily routine. So again, meditation is one of those things. You can meditate for 30 minutes, which I'd like to do, or an hour. And if I can't, well, then 5 minutes. But do it every single day. Love doing the show with Janine. Oh, that's Claire. We talked about meaningful topics every week. I learned so much. It changed my life. Yeah, thanks, Claire. It did. It changed my life too. So that's on the radio. It's called the Meaningful Monday Show. It's still on. Okay, so let's just sum up. So the first thing, just a reminder on the previous quote, do not miss a day, but do something. All right, so just to sum up, 3 areas of your life to reflect upon. That's your relationships, your responsibilities, and what gives you the greatest return. The 3-step process was understand the lessons that you've learned as you go through your life and your year before, the things that you're grateful for, and then go through your calendar and review it from red things, orange things, and green things. 5 steps to review your year successfully. So what are your 4 priorities? Or maybe you've got 1 more, 5, let's say. Reflect on your findings. Make your crucial discoveries. Take all of that, those are gold nuggets, and scatter them into the next year as you plan for the next year, and plan well. And then it's go. Just go for bigger, schedule things in, get a plan, and just make it a plan that you're excited about, that you want to act on, and live your life by that. And then the comparison gap. Do not compare yourself to others, only to the previous version of yourself. And the 4 R's. What you need to plug back into, that's return. What do you need to release are all the reds. What do you need to rethink from all the lessons that you learned? And how can you restart? Take action. It's go time. Do learn, as Sharon said, iterate to great. So be very intentional and do something daily to start changing your life. Meditation makes every aspect of your life better. Yes, absolutely. Thanks, Claire. It so does. So if any of you listening here don't meditate daily, I can tell you all the other things that you want to get right in your life will come right if you get meditation as a daily routine. It really, really, really gives you the opportunity to improve your life. That it just I don't know how to explain it enough. If you're not doing it, I couldn't encourage you more. And if you are doing it, well done, and keep up the practice. All right. I unfortunately haven't got my watch here, which is not a good thing. So I don't know what the time is. Anyone can tell me the time, please?
9:07.
Okay, we're just on time. We're going to end off now. So a minute of thought is greater than an hour of talk. This is about planning and reflecting. Bring it down to a daily routine. If you can get planning and reflecting on a daily routine, it'll be one of the most valuable, improving things you can do in your life. And it will help you also, when you get to the end of the year, be more inclined to want to do an annual plan and reflect. So we do it daily. A person can do it weekly, which is great. You can do it monthly, quarterly, and then yearly. So big, small, all different variations. That's the lesson for tonight. So I hope you got some value out of that. And I hope that you all do take the time, book time before the year closes to do reflection for yourself. Whether you do it big way or small way, do some reflection. Really do it. You'll love yourself for it. You'll find yourself, geez, you suddenly feel a bit more inspired and motivated to be greater than you were and do better the next year. I love this. Why did it take so long to join in? Thanks, Susan. I like that. All right. So as for the events, so the next meeting for Monday is on the 2nd of January. I'm actually away, so I'm just working out if I'll be able to do it from where I am, or I might do a recording and then on meeting for Monday's night, send you all the recording. And I'll see how I go. I prefer to do it live. I just like interacting with people. All right, the next events are the Silver Method. Is the first one up is January in Perth. So I've never been to Perth I've never been out of Sydney to do the Silver Method except for South Africa. This is the first time and it's definitely booked. The venue's booked, the flights are booked and paid, and we're there. So if anyone here is from Perth, just want to say, if you'd like to do the Silver Method, please don't miss this opportunity. I will not be going back to Perth next year after this one. There just is no time in the calendar. And it's going to be great, absolutely great. So if you know anyone in Perth or you are in Perth, please share that around if you can. The more people we can get there to join, the better. There's quite a big group of silver people who are interested there and many graduates there as well. Then for anyone who has not done a mastermind with me, I would really invite you to jump into the spirit of discovery and curiosity. I promise you, you will get more value than the price of the ticket by the end of it. And if I don't, you tell me, but I will. It's my intention. I will not let you down. The content we're learning on developing the leader within you is from John Maxwell's best-selling book. It's called Developing the Leader Within You 2.0. Now, anyone can read a book. You don't need me to read a book, but a mastermind is not a book read. It's not a book club. It's a mastermind. So we dig really, really deep and we extract the learnings in such a deep way and integrate and mingle it with your current life. So when you get through this mastermind, you will have improved and changed and become a better leader in your own life because it's a longitudinal study. If anyone does a leadership course in 1 or 2 days, they say that only 2% of the change sticks, 98% of the behaviors go back to what they were. But if you do it a bit by bit, drip feeding, applying it, getting the feedback, talking about how it went, discussing it in a group, learning from each other over several weeks of a longitudinal study, change actually happens. So John Maxwell says if you want to be motivated, attend an event. And if you want to grow, invest in a process. And a mastermind is a process because it takes so long. Let's just see what we got here. Thank you very much, Janine. Very inspiring. Thank you. Is 16th to 19th February in Sydney? Oh, yes. I do apologize. Thank you, Sharon. The one at the bottom is in Sydney. That is correct. And there are the prices there. There's an early bird price for the mastermind for the 20th of December. And as for the Silver Method, yes, this one at the bottom here is for Sydney. If anyone is interested in this, please book in early. We are halfway with the tickets sold. There are no graduate tickets left. They're sold out. So please, if you want to book in early for that. Just to tell you what's in the mastermind, these are the 10 chapters. They are amazing. And it says here, leaders are not born, they are made. People are more, leaders are less about being born, a born leader, and they're more about a person who's actually intentionally developed themselves And everyone has the potential to become a better leader. So you think to yourself, why would I want to develop my leadership ability? I'm just a mother, or I'm not a manager, or I just work on my own, or I just work for myself, or I'm a sole trader. Because how successful you are is determined by your leadership ability. In John Maxwell's words, he says, how well you lead determines how successful you are, because leadership is influence. It's positively influencing other people. And if you don't have influence, even in your own family house, if you don't have influence with your kids, you're not a good leader. If you don't have influence with your partner, you're not a good leader. Anyone can develop the leadership ability. And it's those 10 lessons there that you see there. Influence, priorities. We spoke about that a little bit tonight. But how do you prioritize? There's an actual way of doing it. Character, fantastic chapter. That's our life. We need to become better and better characters, and then our life improves. They say character determines your destiny, and it's very true. Creating positive change, that's the test to see if you have any leadership ability. Can you create positive change somewhere? If you can, you've got good leadership skills. If you find it difficult, you could develop your leadership skills. That probably could be much stronger. Problem solving, great chapter. Once you read that, you're never going to fear problems in your life again. You don't have to fear problems. If you see problems from a different point of view and how they can honestly improve your life and yourself as a person, you'll never look at problems the same way again. And that's what I really loved about that chapter. It made me take all that fear away and look at things in a completely different way. And it gives you formulas on how to do problem solving effectively. Then there's attitude, serving people. That's all about your life purpose and having meaning in your life. And vision, how to cast vision, create vision. And there's self-discipline. And then last but not least, personal growth. All right. Someone's written here. Did you say something early in your talk about available recordings? My sound broke up when you're talking about it. Yes, Rosanna. All Meaningful Mondays are recorded and on my YouTube channel. It's called Silva Method Australia. SILVA, Silva Method Australia. Or my name, you'll find it, and you can join the channel, sign up. And then just if anyone is in a workplace where you have a group of people, how much is a seat charge? Okay, good question. Let's just go back here. If you attend the Silva Method, you can review for free for the rest of your life, unlimited. You just pay a small seat charge. The seat charge is $85 for Life System and $85 for Intuition System. So to review all 4 days is $170, and it's unlimited. You can do that as many times as you want. Thank you. It was good to see things from a different angle. It creates understanding and learning. Thank you. I found that also last time. Thank you, Karen. Thanks for those words and your feedback. So if anybody has a workplace and you have more than 10 people, I'm happy to do a 1-hour free leadership training for your team on this book, Developing the Leader Within You. Just a fun lunch and learn. And what I really discuss is just 3 main points over the hour. Why should I develop as a leader? What is leadership? And how do I develop as a leader? So if you want that, contact me. I do up to 1 or 2 a month for anyone, anytime. All right, we're going to do a quick meditation now. So grab a pen and paper. I know we're meditating, but you're going to be asked some questions whilst in a nice, deep meditative state. And those answers that you're going to get, you can absolutely trust they'll come from your own intuition or your higher self. And can help guide your life. A nice process you can learn through this. And then, okay, sorry guys, just give me a second. I left my phone in the other room when I changed for the signal, and it's got the music. Okay. All right. So just relax. Make sure you have a pen and paper in your hand so you don't have to move much, and just scribble the answers down. First going to do a relax, a bit of a visualization, and then at the end just ask 3 or so questions, and you just write down your first impressions. So don't analyze anything, just write down your first impressions. Okay, so close your eyes Take a nice deep belly breath and just blow out through your mouth like you're blowing out a candle, and just really just release any tension and stress that you may have carried in the day. Take another slow, deep breath in. And as you exhale, just allow the tensions in your body to release and float away. Take another slow, deep breath in. And as you exhale, begin to feel your body relaxing. Feel the tension leaving your scalp and your forehead. Relax your eyes and your cheeks. Relax your whole face. Relax your tongue and jaw. Relax your shoulders, arms and hands. Relax your back from your neck to the end of your spine. Take another slow, deep breath in. And as you exhale, just relax your chest. Continue to breathe slowly, deeply, and rhythmically as you relax your abdomen, your hips, relax your thighs, relax your knees, relax your calves, relax your feet. You are now experiencing a nice deep state of relaxation. You're now going to create in your mind your ideal place of relaxation. It can be real or imagined, somewhere that you've been or somewhere that you'd like to go. And allow it to be a place where you feel totally relaxed. Begin to experience this place now and just relax. Now that you've created your ideal place of relaxation, you're going to add a waterfall of white light into the scene. Place it wherever you choose. The waterfall is gentle, allowing you to stand under the cascading white light. This white light is a healing energy, a clearing energy. Your waterfall of white light is now created. Walk over to the waterfall and stand under the white healing light. Allow the white light to swirl around you, encompassing you within its glow. This white light is clearing away the stress, the tension, and the clutter of not just today or this past week or past month, but of your entire lifetime. Feel how this white healing light clears your atmosphere, your energy field, your aura, And as the light clears your energy field, just notice how much happier you look. Notice the smile on your face. See how all the weights that you've been carrying are no longer a burden. And notice how now your energy field is expanding out as you are radiating love. This waterfall of light is always available to you whenever you need it. All you need to do is close your eyes, imagine your ideal place of relaxation, and immerse yourself in this healing white light. Now take a deep breath, relax even deeper, and repeat mentally after me these beneficial statements in your mind. Repeat every day, in every way. I am getting better, better, and better. Positive thoughts bring me benefits I desire. I will always maintain a perfectly healthy body, mind, and immune system. The following statements are for your better health, so keep in mind that from now on, I will occasionally be speaking in your place. Every second, every minute, every hour, every day, every cell, tissue, organ, and system of my body is revitalized, restored, and renewed, resulting in a perfectly healthy body, mind, and immune system. I'm able to function in harmony, physically, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually to promote maximum benefits. Now imagine the white light turns to green. You are now immersed in a growing, glowing green light. This green light is unconditional love. It surrounds you. It encompasses you. It flows through your entire being. It fills you with love. All the hurts you felt, all the pains you felt, the angry moments, just allow this green light, this unconditional love, to heal all those spaces now. You are an amazing human being. You deserve love. You deserve joy. You deserve abundance. And you deserve peace. It is now time to step out of the waterfall. Step out of the waterfall of light. Your energy field is now clean and clear. You are centered. You have so much clarity. And you feel you are in the flow of universal love and energy. Feel your connection to everything in this universe. You have now reset your body and mind for the month. It's now time to set your intention for the month ahead. We're going to tune into our inner wisdom now. I'll count back from 10 to 1. When we reach the count of 1, you will have tuned into your own inner wisdom, your higher self, or your intuition, the part of you that when you tuned in guides you and intuitively knows what is best for you. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. You are now tuned in to your own inner wisdom that intuitively knows what is best for you. Now ask yourself the following questions and just write down your first impressions. Do not analyze any answers. Just write down what comes to you. The first question: what do I need to focus on for the month ahead? Write down your first impressions. Next question: what steps do I need to take me closer to what I want to be, do, or have? What steps do I need to take me closer to what I want to be, do, or have? Write down your first impressions. And when you're done, take a deep breath, close your eyes and re-enter the meditation and relax. Next question: what do I need to let go of? What do I need to let go of? And relax. And the last question is: what do I need to embrace? What do I need to embrace? And just to make sure we've got all the wisdom, you can ask yourself, is there anything else? Is there anything else I need to know? Is there anything else I need to do? Is there anything else? And now allow a deep breath and relax. Bring your attention back into your body. Wriggle your fingers, wriggle your toes. Have a nice big stretch. Put a big smile on your face. And when you're ready, you can open your eyes. Lots of blessings to you all. And welcome back. Thanks, everyone.